Brown 45. Brown 45. Hot, 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 hot.
Of commercial-free football start now.
We're back. Listen. I know what the fans, the two people that watch the show, are wondering. Scully has a legit excuse why he's not here. So, and believe me, we will do enough covering of that, like it is here, and we won't have to get to the defense of it. We'll just get to talk about how stupid his organization is. Coho did not give me an excuse. So feel free to berate him. His two teams met, and he picked the wrong one. But we'll get there. So I have been flirting with the idea of we do winners and losers every week. I'm changing the segment. We used to do top 10, but we did the power rankings. I'm changing that. So normally the show's about an hour 45 to give or take. I think best served is we're just going to recap the week going back, talk about moments. If there's nothing to talk about in the game, we can just pass it and not even relate. Like there's certain games that won't mean anything, but if there's a moment that we want to bring up and actually discuss it, let's recap the week. I think that's best. Bar, GM, any GMs on the hot seat for you this week? I think the Giants may have won if they had Saquon. Because he can throw, right?
You know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he was a better quarterback than Daniel Jones is right now.
I would really be shocked, honestly.
I don't know. We've seen David Montgomery throw a touchdown, so...
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad you're feeling great. I'm not doing this. Mark, still not watching Aggies?
I did not watch a second of that game, and the greatest thing happened. You know, since you brought it up, I don't think the Aggies have a quarterback that can throw, and we just put the quarterback that can run better, and we won. So, you know,
instant. Maybe... He came in and it was an instant touchdown. It was like, whoa. And then your defense said, you can't play with this anymore, and kept taking the ball away from Nussmeier. It was a great game.
Yeah, I really like the replays. That was great.
He's just scrolling Twitter, just waiting for the highlight because he can't watch it because those Aggies are fucking Colt fans that can't buy into it. Next up, Nazario. Your team is questionable, but you beat the Cowboys, so that's plus. How are you?
I mean, we always beat the Cowboys. I would be worried if we didn't. So, I mean, they looked finally a little bit like the 49ers for one full quarter, and then we went back to shit. But, I don't know. I have faith. 500 going into the bye. We might get CMC back. We might get Drano. You know, hope is what you do not lose in this fucking league.
Like, couldn't there be, like, shouldn't they be able to be taken to court for, like, lying and shit? Like, how many times they say, oh, CMC may come back. Does he have ankles anymore? Have we learned? Has anyone seen him walk? I haven't seen him all year long.
All I see from him is that fucking Grubhub commercial, Uber Eats commercial.
At least he got his money when he did.
I mean, I don't want to turn this into a thing, but like, should there be a rule now? This is the second straight season where a big team just straight up lied about the health of one of their star players for the entire preseason.
Yeah, I think waterboarding is fair. They choose the member, but it has to be of a higher stature. So it has to be like GM, head coach. Somebody has to take the waterboarding. Figure it out. Robert has to be feeling great. How are you, Robert?
Oh, I feel wonderful. Though the wide receiver odyssey continues. It was Ayuk. It was Adams. Cooper Kupp for like 2 days, and then they won. Christian Kirk broke his collarbone. That sucked. And then when we're playing the Giants, Darius Slayton like takes a shot. I'm like, no, don't hurt Darius Slayton. We might want him in a week, please, to God. So that's what I'm hoping for at this point.
Yeah, I don't know who's left at this point, but just receivers are going for nothing. Chiefs are getting pass rushers. It's a crazy, crazy world. Oh, I fucking hate the Yankees. All right, sorry. So we can talk about 2 games first. I'll do charades, and you tell me which one you want. Do we talk about like, hey, I don't want to play football no more, or bye, and then hit pass fucking in there? Which one are you going to talk about first? Because both are hilarious to me.
He was tired.
Who
He
the
just-
fuck
he
let
just
him
needs water.
speak? Oh, god damn it. Fucking grand slam. Kiss my ass. Okay. Who let him talk? Who lets your presser say that you're tired? You have cramps. You have the shits. I don't care. You have a 39-year-old quarterback as your backup, and you're saying you're tired. That guy got tired moving out of bed this morning. What are we talking about? Anthony Richardson's a terrible quarterback. Terrible. He's a bad quarterback. But you're playing the Houston Texans. At that point in time, a win, you're closer to the division lead at that point. It's not third and it's not 3rd and 22 on your where you're about to just punt. You're 3rd and goal.
Would they have taken the lead of the division had they won that game? Or is
No.
my
I think it would have been.
math
I think it
They'd
would
still
have
be
been
a half game back.
They would still be a half game back. Okay.
Yeah, I think it would have been a half game, but still, now you're fucking in. You've lost to them twice. They hold you have no shot of taking it now from them, basically, unless they go on a losing streak. Diggs tears his ACL in that game. Like, there's multitude of bad things that. I mean, I don't think that's such a bad thing, to be honest with you. They probably Josh Allen goes, strapped. It might meet you in the AFC Championship game now because he wasn't going to matter.
A week after I trade for him in fantasy.
It
Literally
wasn't
that
more.
week.
It wasn't. Oh God, that fucking sucks. What went on for you? Again, I don't think the game's that important. Like, if your team, like it's your team, and your quarterback did that, would you ever want to see that quarterback play for your team again?
Not this year.
No, yeah, not this year.
Nah.
That's crazy behavior. I've never seen it.
And you know who agrees? The Colts. They benched him.
Well, I never understood going back to him when Flacco was doing well. Like, again, I understand you're biting the bullet because you drafted him 3rd in your draft, so or 4th or wherever he was. You're wanting him. You saw enough in him. You picked him. You chose him. That's who you want. But at the end of the day, your team is good enough at this point to compete.
In that division.
And he's probably the reason you're not competing as much as possible. And Flacco's brought you success, and Flacco also took a team that also had a quarterback that was destined to play, led them to the playoffs again. So, like, if I'm Jim Irsay, I want to go to the fucking playoffs. I want to go fuck up. Like, I want to just drop off Jim Irsay, like, highlights from Florida of Anthony Richardson and be like, by the way, this is the guy you drafted. Like, and when I say highlights, there's going to be a lot of lowlights. Man's bad. Man's bad at he can run. He can throw a deep ball. He's nothing. He's no different than Joe Milton. Nothing.
Yikes.
But Joe Milton could hit the light tower in New England. I don't know if Richardson could. Anything else on that before we move to the most hilarious moment in all the sports?
It's sad because he's not on the same level as this person I'm about to bring up, but like
Oh God, don't do this.
Jamarcus Russell. Remember
No,
how like
no,
Wow.
no, no.
no, I'm not saying that he's on that level, but remember how everyone was like, dude can like just chuck the ball so far, and that means he's going to be like a great quarterback, and like.
I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you know this. I'm not judging.
Feels
Jamarcus,
like this.
huh?
Where did we put him? Do you remember? Like 20?
16 to 20.
See him
Yeah.
at 20.
Oh yeah, we did
He's
do
at
that.
20. He is at 20. And
Shit.
at this point, before these rookies, I would have stood by that.
We also have
Personally.
Goff at 11. I think he should be in.
That's we
That's
are fucking
crazy.
Like
ridiculous.
Mahomes
All right, take that out.
Mahomes at one kind of hurts right now.
No, it does not. We'll get to that. It does
toying
not.
around. He doesn't. Give
It does not matter. We'll
Yeah.
get to that. Put that down.
He's fucking around too much.
Fuck
He shouldn't be one though, probably.
No, yes, he should.
I agree with Cody.
They're 7-0.
Till it's
This okay. We'll just open this one first. Everybody's the most delusional. They want MVP. That makes sense. This motherfucker doesn't lose games. He is 7-0. Where he's just not winning fancy enough for people. Shut the fuck up. He's doing less with less than anybody else right now. He lost Rasheed Rice, lost Hollywood Brown. He got Hopkins on a fucking flight. He doesn't know any plays. Kelsey has lost a step. His top receiver is what? McCole Hardman and
Xavier Worthy.
Juju when he
No.
comes back.
Juju. Like, what are we doing? Like, and when it matters most, when the game matters most, guess what? Win.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
feel
sure.
it.
He's not an
Then put him
MVP,
at
but
5.
I would take him right now. I don't care how many touchdowns. How many other quarterbacks on that list currently right now have a loss?
I don't even think they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Whoa.
I honestly think there's a different strategy. I think these psychopaths care more about history than anything else. I think they're going for undefeated.
They are favored in everyone coming up except for at Bills. So
The only thing, if they beat the Bills, what I think right now is I have to win 7 to get close to Brady. If they were on the fucking, remember when they won the Super Bowl and he was standing
Which
there and he
time?
didn't even get his MVP trophy, and he was saying, he looked at Kelsey and goes, 3P, man.
yeah.
He didn't even care. He just won the thing. He's talking about next year. The only time you can erase everything is if he does do. I don't believe they will because I believe they will rest, which
God, I
would
hope
hurt
they
them.
do.
But if they don't rest, are you playing them weeks?
Yeah, we play them at Christmas.
That's crazy. My thing is if they don't and they run through and they go for undefeated, like he's going for that. He's going for legacy. Again, I understand his stat lines. If you look at interceptions, I will erase literally half of them. There are tips. There are chucks downfield. If you don't want your quarterback to try downfield, then what are we doing? Because guess what? His defense can bail the offense out. 100%. Crazy. The thing is, if I'm starting a franchise right now, there is zero question of who the person I want.
Josh Allen.
And everybody here would want the same thing.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
No.
No, you wouldn't. If the 49ers were on the clock and you had the number 1 pick and you could restart your franchise with a quarterback, you're taking Patrick fucking Mahomes. Shut up.
Josh Allen, bitch.
I guarantee you, if the
And guess
same
what?
situation happens as last year, I will put my house on Mahomes to go into Buffalo.
And Mahomes gets drafted to Seattle, and then you just have to constantly watch Seattle punt kick your
that'd be-
ass every
That'd be
time.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's what would happen for
that's
you.
not nice. That would be not
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
One last thing about the Richardson thing. He's still the youngest quarterback in the NFL.
So he got tired? I think it was the youngest.
Yeah, no, that's a bad thing for that. But it means he can, 2026, he'll be 23. And he'll get 2 years to sit. So he might be better later.
Okay. So let's do this for Scully. I was going to put in the chat that this is literally those moments that when a team just doesn't deserve to win whatsoever, ends up winning because they were at the goal line. They were, and they punched it in, so took the lead, got the 2-point conversion, up 3. 22 seconds left. After Caleb Williams played fucking terrible. Like, remember when we said Washington's defense was bad?
Yeah.
Did they get really good over
No.
like
no,
the
I
last?
think they played
Well,
juju.
they've held what they held the last 2 teams they played to 14 points.
Yeah.
The only game that they blew, like had a huge blowout, was
Isn't that the Panthers they played?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other teams that Panthers have put up 20, 27.
The one that
13
doesn't
is-
make sense is Arizona only put up 14 on them. That's the one that boggles my fucking mind.
Right. So, okay, maybe the defense isn't as bad as we think it is.
It's not.
That's something. Because
Oh,
then
it's
they
mid-
literally punt kicked the shit out of Caleb Williams for if Swift does not break that run, we're not even talking about anything. Swift breaks a long run, hurdles, gets in the end zone. Then they go down, they run a lineman, which
Hilarious.
oh, sorry. If you've ever played offensive line, you're always wanting one of those. Just hand me the ball. Like this much mass going through. Like give it. And when that ball pops and does everything, you're just like, oh fucking hell! It's the moment that everybody. These are nightmares. They're back. PTSD. You see Nom just flashing it because you see that ball, and you're already just a blubbering lineman. So you're just like. Couldn't put it right in my bread bag. Yeah, done. So that shit happens, which is hilarious enough. And then, so if I was the city of Chicago, I would already want to kill Eberflus. Like already, it wouldn't take a lot. But the problem is, you've dealt with so much like letdown over the lifetime. What's one more at this point? Like Bears fans were like, looked like they were surprised. They shouldn't be. But when he says it doesn't come down to that first play, it comes down to the in play. Like that's what it matters. I have never understood this. Now in high school it didn't matter, right? Because no quarterback can launch it far. But everybody I ever talked to in coaching is why not simulate run 6 when they have to throw 50? Because at that point in time, you have no time to get the ball out that much time. You have not that much time to get the receivers out. You put enough pressure in their face. Have you guys seen the extra clips from this in play?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts me as a football player, for one.
They gave them the whole field.
Not only did they give him the whole field, so regardless of the little douchebag on the sideline that's like waving at fans, and I don't care the talent of this guy, he would not be on my football team tomorrow. Like, he would be cut, gone. I do not care. That is insane. They rush 4, kind of.
Yeah.
They rush 3, and 53 is dancing with. You want Jaden to run. That's not a problem. He can't run 53 yards. Like at that point, like you're pressure him. So he's standing back. They're rushing 3, and then douchebag after waving goes, "Oh shit, they snapped the ball. That's kind of interesting." And then he like turns around and goes, "Oh fuck, I gotta do something." He jumps up. And I've never been one of the guaranteed people in the top of that pile that gets to hit because I don't play defensive back. But I've always been told that you hit it down and you use 2 hands and you hit it down. Because your job is not to catch. Your job is just to say, fuck you, you don't get it. He's late. He goes one-handed, pops it. And I saw the guy behind. And I was like, this is going to go to that guy. Like, you just know something in football that you just know. Like, there's a guy standing back there. No one's blocking it. It's going to him. And he taps it, and it goes over and catches it.
Because I think
Like a
Tyreek
fucking
Stevenson.
volleyball flip. They were
I
like
think-
a volleyball flip.
I was like I was in shock. Like,
I think Tyreek Stevenson was supposed to be guarding Noah Brown in particular. Like, I think that's who he was supposed to be guarding.
He was.
yeah, he wasn't even supposed to be in the tip pile. He was supposed to be back in the back guarding the guy.
Yeah.
Wherever he was supposed to be. But instead, he jumps up and does this.
You're the block guy. You're not the tip guy.
Like, how do you, like, I've screwed up in plays before. I've had to go into the locker room and, like, head to head down. And if you're good enough for people, they'll be like, we got you, no big deal, blah, blah, blah. This motherfucker might not get, like, anything out of the vending machine from any of his friends. Like, I would never talk to this fucker again. Hey, like, he walks on that plane, it is literally Forrest Gump. You can't sit here. Like, I want nothing to do with you. Like, you just can't do that. I'm so confused. And, like, again, if you're a Bears fan, you take the win at that point because you take it because you're like, hey, we're going to win. Like, and that it looks like you have a lot of questions after that game. Caleb played bad. Offense played bad. They came off a bye. Jaden had a rib injury. Like, a lot of things. Like, we cannot do this again. But then the reverse of that actually happens. And one, how you let him get the 12-yard out route to the sideline. Like, it's not long. Like, that play happens. But if you don't let Terry McLaurin get those 12 yards, he can't get there. It's a lateral move. It has to be. They can't get the ball there. So I was like, you can't. The whole argument always is, if you play prevent defense, you just prevented yourself a chance to win. Every time. Why leave that much field open? I was dumbfounded. Like, then they pride themselves on defense, and and then Eberflus, after that game, the way he talked and the way he, like, talked about it, get the fuck off my football team. We didn't like you to begin with. We damn sure don't like you now. Oh, it was disgusting.
I'm also so confused as to why they left their 3 timeouts on the board. Like, not a single one of their timeouts was used.
What do you mean? When would they use it?
Like, well, before the Terry McLaurin play, like,
who?
The Bears.
No, now one, that is another Eberflus. Okay, I get one of your points. When I'm Eberflus and I see fucking Stevenson waving at fans before the hike of the ball, I'm calling a timeout.
You should have been aware of that.
And if he doesn't see him, he's an idiot. Like, he should not be a head coach. But I see the coaches go, this. I murdered. Like, do you remember when the Bengals did that roughing the passer?
Yeah.
At the end of the Chiefs game, and the one guy, this is my last fucking year. Why the fuck would you touch him? Like, screaming at him, like, watching the line. And everyone's like, chill. No, fuck that. This is my last game. Fuck that. Like, I can just imagine him walking to us saying, you want to wave at fans? Why don't you go be with the fans? Fucking idiot. Like, I was,
you know, the saddest thing of this whole situation, if the Bears weren't fucking dumbasses and they just fucking win that game, the Vikings would be last in the division. That would be hilarious.
Also, this is all made worse by the news that Ben Johnson wanted to be the head coach of the Bears, and they kept Eberflus because they're dumb.
Oh yeah, what? Duh. That makes perfect sense. An offense in Chicago? No, thank you. We want defense and a kicker. That's all we want. We want to hand the ball 45 times and then let's just kick the ball.
Kicker sucks.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Like, they're literally definition of insanity. They just wake up every day and just do the same shit for the last 100 years. Like, what the fuck, guys? Like, you guys are the dumbest organization in sports. And, like, it just proves that Jaden Daniels, like,
the Jets are out there.
God damn, we'll talk about that in a second. But you talk about him, like, an organization that just has no hope. And like looking over the side of Jaden Daniels and like them, and you can say one or the other because Jaden didn't have a touchdown till that moment, but he was still moving the ball pretty well. They were up like 12-0 entering halftime. Again, like that's the whole Chiefs thing. It doesn't matter how many score. They get over the 50-yard line, they kick a field goal, they win every game. Like rinse cycle. Like Patrick Mahomes got a ball tipped, and the Raiders returned it to the 8-yard line and couldn't punch it in. Like could not punch it in against that defense. That's disgusting. Like, but yeah, let's talk about a simpler organization. So one, I'm really glad because now I can't be interrupted by two idiots.
Yay.
But there is no smarter franchise in the history of sports than the Green Bay Packers.
Yup.
Now, say what you will. Championships, whatever you call it, I 100% agree with you. They could probably get the job finished more. But how they know when to cut quarterbacks after Hall of Fame careers and have successful backups ready to go, and why and everybody's like, you let Rodgers walk? You let Favre walk? Holy fucking shit. The Jets are in such a bad spot right now that I don't think they get out of this for the next 5 years. Like, they've traded everything. They're pot committed on everybody. It's clearly not working. It's clearly a clusterfuck that's happening. They have nobody. Like, you wanted Lazard, we got Lazard. You wanted Adams, we went and got Adams.
Randall Cobb.
Like Randall Cobb,
Tim Boyle.
Daniel Hackett.
You wanted Salah fired him.
Yeah, Robert Saleh. Huh, he's at the Packers facility right now.
He's now at the Packers. It's amazing.
Everything just fuck him. Rodgers, yeah. Devontae Adams there a week talking to the team that just came from the Raiders. Why the fuck are you speaking? Lose to the Patriots.
Oh, and he still has the fucking gall to do the fucking like reveal that Devontae is with him in the fucking McAfee show.
Pat McAfee.
Like,
yeah.
Like 2 fucking wins and like, oh yeah, fucking, oh yeah. Now we're gonna show you how much we're gonna suck.
You know how like much it sucks? The Patriots now have actually jumped them in division rankings.
The only team
The
they're ahead of in the
Patriots.
AFC is the Titans.
Which is the worst thing for the Patriots.
Yeah,
Well, it is, but considering the hatred that the two of them have for each other.
I know, it's insane. That much offense, and they lost to Jacoby Brissett. Like Drake May went out injured. They lost, and Jets fans are like, "Oh, if we had a kicker, you should beat them more than 3 points." What are you talking about?
Who was it that the Jets had as the second kicker that they let go because they were paying Greg Zuerlein more money?
Buddy, if you think I have a kicker encyclopedia in front of me, I can't even.
Oh, it was
Siebert.
Siebert for the Commanders, the guy who hit 5 the next week.
It's so frustrating. Like Matt LaFleur has to be like one of the greatest head coaches out there, regardless ring or not, because that man just literally like I want to know what they could have gotten instead of like I understand why they brought Malik Willis in because they're like, hey, we can't get anybody better than and start rivaling Love for the job, so let's bring Malik because no one wants him. Everybody saw Malik and he's bad, and I guess the only other option would be like Mason Rudolph. So like let's just leave him alone, and they bring him in, he can get the win. Like he's won every game he's been in, had to be in. Like that's disgusting. Like I don't know, and imagine all 3 divisions just being so pissed off. Like the Bears, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Packers just literally are the Breaking Bad. They can't keep getting away with it. Like they literally just they live rent free in all their heads every time.
You know who else they picked up in free agency? The Packers, that has just been like a game changer for them, is Xavier McKinney. Like, that dude leads the league in interceptions. He has 6.
They have the
And
top
he's-
safeties in PFF.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And like, he's also like recovered a fumble, and like that dude's just been an absolute game changer for their defense.
Absolutely. There's a few more games we can touch on before we get overall. Falcons and Bucks have a great game. Comes down to the basic wire. Mayfield just doing everything he can with what he's got. Like, he has nothing. He's
Hate
still
on, man.
picked him up in fantasy, just doing great work, doing the Lord's work. Falcons are, I think, I'm not saying they'll run away, but the health of the ON team is just too substantial at this point. I think the Falcons have won now both games against them. So at that,
we blinked and they're 4-0 in the division.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's over. Like, they won the division already. It's done.
Yeah. It's crazy. And again, like, everybody's crying. Cardinals.
Good job, Cody.
Beat Tua coming back. Tua men.
I picked Arizona to win, but honestly, I didn't know Tua was coming back.
Did anybody else scream when he started running?
I wasn't watching that game.
I've never clinched my desk more in my entire. I was like, slide. I'm not a Dolphin. I don't care, but I was like, his head is going to be putting on the ground right now. He motherfucker don't learn. Motherfucker doesn't learn.
Like, that Cardinals DB clearly did not want to hit him. Like, he was walking up, all right, but just gonna give you a touch.
That might work to his benefit. The people don't want to see him die.
Yeah, like, his head just goes fucking mush on the field. But like, he comes back. Tyreek Hill says, "Hey, start me in fantasy this week." I don't know what his stat line ended up being, but like,
It's okay.
He meant next week.
But still, like, what the
He had
fuck?
12 targets or whatever.
How much?
I think he had 12 targets in the game. So that's
How many
helpful.
catches?
7, 6, something like that.
Like 70 yards.
You know what I was thinking regarding that Tua thing. Like, are fans savage enough? Are fans savage enough to start bringing like fucking signs with the concussion countdown, like Billy Bob style? He has 2 left.
Don't forget, Reggie Ray, you got 2, 1.
I don't think he's got very many.
So how many players do we think that?
Billy Bob?
How many players do we think that the Dolphins sell at the deadline?
I don't think any.
No, none. They're gonna just chalk this up to a bad year.
Oh my god.
They're 2-5. They could rattle off some because you still have the Jets and Patriots games, so you could rattle off some wins. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sticking around. I think the Cardinals' offense.
The actual problem they have is the calendar, because they can win like 3 or 4 more games, and then December's here.
Yeah.
Chances of McDaniels getting fired? God, I hope so. I hate that man. He's just is like every hipster friend that you've ever been around, or guy at the coffee shop that just wants to say those cool little buzzwords. Shouldn't be in football. Hate him. Hate everything about him. But I don't know. Vikings drop to healthy Rams. Because health will only go so far. Are the Vikings good still?
I think they're still good.
The Vikings, man. I don't understand. Like, was everybody caught on that whole spell or what? They're gonna fucking qualify for the playoffs, but they're gonna end up like, I don't know, 10-6.
I think what ends up being is, I think we're all a little surprised because going into it, they didn't have a quarterback. They had an offense. I think we undersold their defense.
Yeah.
Defense is good.
Fair.
I don't think we believed in their defense enough. But clearly, their defense just let up 30 points to the Rams. Who did they play last week?
They lost to the Lions and the Rams.
The Lions, yeah.
Yeah, and they had the lead in that game late.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy them. I think both teams right now. I think anybody in the NFC West can qualify for the playoffs at this point. I think whoever survives, whoever doesn't kill each other more is going to be. It's literally the Pac-12 of college football.
3 teams are 4-4, and the Rams are 3-4 because they haven't played an 8 game. Let's go.
Yeah,
and Seattle's odds are the worst to win the division, which is funny.
Fuck them.
Yeah, Seattle.
The
Who picked Seattle? There were people that last week that picked Seattle over
for 2.
It doesn't matter. What were we all over Buffalo? It was Robert picked them for 1, and then Barr picked them for 2. So
They
what
had
were
just beat the Falcons.
What the fuck does that mean?
I thought it'd be a letdown game in the 12th man.
Buffalo beat who the previous week?
Previous week they had beaten.
I'm thinking of them losing to
Tennessee.
Tennessee. They had
yeah.
And Seattle just beat who?
The Falcons.
The Falcons were 25 or 20. So
the letdown should have been the opposite way. Right?
Had it been in Buffalo, I would have picked Buffalo easily. I thought the travel.
And maybe the 12th man doesn't mean fucking jack shit anymore. Is that possible?
Exactly.
It's possible.
The uniform is long gone, guys.
I mean, I'll tell you that I don't trust them this week.
I think Seattle at this point, that offense needs DK. About the same amount the Eagles need AJ Brown.
Yep. AJ Brown, real MVP.
The real question. So Cam Newton went and said that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are the scariest team in the NFL currently.
I mean, when he takes his helmet off, it's pretty scary.
And against the Chiefs and the Ravens, who's scarier? And they said it's the Ravens by far. I understand offensively, sure. I can understand why that would be the case. Defensively, why maybe losing the defensive coordinator
that's the big
to
one.
Seattle is showing some problem. Because now this team has lost by a foot to Kansas City. I scratched that as a blanket. Like, that could have went either way.
Even, yeah.
This team has lost to the Raiders and the Browns.
Yes.
Now, Browns seem to own Lamar Jackson. Like, I think this is the same game last year that they end up winning. Like, I think it was 20-17 or 20-19. Or it was real close.
Game is a Brown.
Yeah.
The sun was in his eyes. That was the problem.
Oh.
When I saw that logic break down, I was like, there's no way you're selling this right now. They sold it. They said that's the thing. Are the Ravens even, can they, they're so confusing to me.
They're
either one, they show up for big games and they fight tooth and nail for the big games and don't give a shit about the lesser games, which could be possible because they've lost to the Raiders and now Browns. They won by 7 against Washington.
Sounds right. Yeah, I think so. The backdoor cover.
Yeah,
they destroyed the Bills.
they did destroy the Bills. Which I think, no matter what, I think at the end of the day, I think Gibson will still destroy the Bills.
I'm just gonna chuck this one up.
New quarterback
To karma. Like
because he's eating
Sean
W's.
Watson is gone. They deserve the win.
Can I tell you what I chalk it up to? Is that Lamar Jackson sucks in the North. They will go 3-3 in the North. They will lose a game at least to every team. I swear to God.
He's not a good divisional quarterback.
They
It's
know him
wild.
so well, and they know his tendency. It doesn't matter who the fuck you put back there to aid him. He will fuck it up. I don't give a shit about Deontay Johnson, by the way. I don't give a shit.
No, I don't. The receivers weren't the problem.
No, Rashad Bateman's been really good. Like really
Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers. How long is Zay Flowers out for?
God bait.
What are you talking about, Rashad Bateman? He's a serviceable 3.
He had a great last month. He's been like catching long ass touchdowns.
Talking about the guy with the sun was in his eyes. Doesn't make fun of him for that.
That's one.
That would be you. You know what?
What are you talking about?
Hold on. That's a valid point. Check the mark. That's a valid point.
Yeah.
On the season, this season, 2024, he is 22 catches, 422 yards, 3 touchdowns.
It's mostly been in the last 3 games.
I guess, but like, wasn't Deontay Johnson's famous thing for never catching touchdowns in Steelers? Now he may have had Kenny Pickett as quarterback, so that could have been the issue.
He also had Ben as quarterback, and not all the bad years. He had him in it.
Oh, that's correct. But you have Zay Flowers, Isaiah Likely, Andrews. You have weapons. You have Anthony. You have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. So at that point in time, I don't know if I think they needed like an edge rusher.
They needed a
corner. I think they need somebody to stop somebody. I think it's a weird pickup. I understand they're going for pennies on the dollar. So like a 6th-round pick free agent that's, like, is he a free agent after this year?
Yes.
I think so.
Because he was still technically on the Steelers contract.
So he's given up a 6th-round pick, and if he gets signed by somebody, they get a 6th-round pick back. So at this point, it's Fugazi. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. The Ravens are one of those teams that I will never understand. I won't. So it does. I'm assuming everybody will have them at the end of the day as a team that can still win and go to the AFC Championship game. But I'm confused by them.
I'm so mad that I picked them for 16 because I should have known going up against Jameis. Like Jameis's first game, something was going to be weird in that.
Can't trust it.
What was weird? His interviews. Did you see them interviewing James Wilson?
No.
It was.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest. He's the greatest interview ever. Have you ever seen him? He's like, what was wrong with your back? Like, it was broken. Like he does the whole basically Mike Tyson line. He does the W's and we're eating. Like he does. Have you ever seen him work out? He does the ball and like people hit him and he just does this the entire time. It's Jameis, I would love to lead my quarterback. Like, crazy dude, but love it. You fucking idiot.
Takes me back to the time when, I went to CC's Pizza with the boys after we won a big playoff game.
Yeah. No, last week was bad. This is a fan base win. This is a fan base win. We're getting back. They suffered a lot. We're here to help them. Oh God, keep it up, man. Keep talking your shit. I would be remiss if we didn't talk about 2 more people. I think the Steelers have, I think they could be in the AFC Championship game this year. I'm
starting to feel that way as well, and I hate that.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. What? No, Russell Wilson. And if you all saw that, the way he was delivering deep shots downfield and over-the-shoulder catches and stuff.
2 really nice throws.
if Pickens could get that other foot down, which is still miraculous that
Right.
that foot never touched the ground.
The two best things about that was the Jason Kelsey, like you could hop out around on one foot 15 times and still not catch the ball, which is wonderful. And then like I
What
think
was the
Pickens,
what was the one
Like,
thing
should
that
that
was
be a
weird
catch?
to me?
Like 2 foot, same feet.
He
That should
did.
be a catch.
He
Yeah,
did use
I
the
think you
right
should
foot
be able.
twice.
If you solo tap your same foot twice, it should count as 2 feet out.
I agree. That's what I was weird. Like, why is this not a completion? He stepped twice. Oh, it was the same foot.
and he said something about how this is biased against amputees, which I thought was funny.
Like, there's also another thing. Like, I don't want to derail the but like I'm reminded of when Miami played New England, and Jalen Polk had that touchdown where like he dragged like his toes going backwards, and like that wasn't a catch.
Yeah, the heel toe.
Because the heel didn't hit the end zone.
So
Oh, believe
like
me.
it's 2 fucking
Yeah.
feet. Like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
shut the fuck up. What does this even mean? But the catch that, like, Russell Wilson. So the thing about the Steelers is they have a Super Bowl level defense.
Sort of.
Sure, there's ups and downs, but they can keep basically the rule of thumb always in the NFL. If you can keep a team under 20, you have a shot to win. They do that. JJ Watt or TJ Watt is terrifying. Like, I literally said, I saw TJ line it up on the side, and I was like, he's going to strip sack. Like, this was literally, and goes in, grabs it, turns around, hops on it. Like, he's a freak. Russell Wilson gives them a deep ball that he can do. They have a good run game of Harris and Warren that they can literally alternate in and out of and do really well
And
stuff.
Patterson will
So,
come
like,
back too, and he was good before he got hurt.
I just think, like, sure, I think the AFC is the hardest. NFC is a fucking cakewalk for most part. But I say this is a team that when it gets cold, if they have a high enough pick and you have to go into Pittsburgh when it's cold and sit there against that defense, those are games that you can walk away winning 20-17 because their defense literally smothers you. It looks like the steel curtain's back, and I'm not. And Russell gives them an option. And worst case scenario, they have a running quarterback that can be brought in situational football, like a Taysom Hill, if they decide to use those options.
I really wish they would have last night. They would have scored
100%.
35 points. No, they're gonna get people back. The line's gonna get healthy. They're gonna get Herbig back. They might make a trade. They might. I think if the final four in the AFC is Kansas City, Baltimore, Buffalo, and Steelers, I don't think you could do like much better.
Yeah,
those three division games.
Najee
is still gonna try to get a wide receiver, or you're just gonna stick with what you have?
No, I think they'll try to get somebody. I don't know who it's gonna be. I saw a funny thing, and I wish Coho was here for it, where they were like, "Steelers swing for Jordan Addison," and I was like, "That's a funny idea."
I actually like the only thing is that it's getting close to the deadline, and now fucking Houston needs one too.
I know.
So
I hate that shit.
It's gonna be tight.
So where does Adam Thielen go? Does he go to Houston or does he go to Pittsburgh?
I'm trying to think.
Was there a chance that Pittsburgh called Deontay Johnson?
The problem is that the rule is after they trade him, they can't trade him back. I think they would have taken him back if it was available.
So now they'll try to trade for him.
Maybe. I think transitive properties. Maybe that works. I don't know. It's a good question, Mark. I don't know.
Is this the best that Najee's looked his entire career?
Yes, indubitably. If they let him catch more passes, it would be without a doubt.
It's the Arthur Smith effect.
Exactly.
It is. It really is. This last game before we get to picks, I really want to touch on because I'm really confused. Well, two things. I guess we can brush on Eagles-Bengals. I don't think the Bengals can survive. Like, I just don't. I think they're done at this point. Their defense is fucking ass. It's sad because I like Joe Burrow, but it's sad. They just don't show. The question I have is, do you think the Lions should leave some trick plays in the bank, for playoff games instead of fucking embarrassing teams on national television.
Nah.
Nah,
I've
fuck 'em.
never felt bad. Like Cowboys, I loved every minute of it. When they literally, the guy was reported eligible in the first play of the game, right before halftime, at the end of the game. The pettiness was all out. I loved every bit of it. Good job. I felt bad for the Tennessee Titans. Like, I made a bet, and I wish I would have put my mortgage on it because it was the easiest bet I've ever made in my life. It was literally Lions over 14.5 in the first half. They had 28 points. Parlayed with Lions team total over 27.5 for the entire game. They had 28 at half. It cashed in the first half. And it was plus 136. I should have just went to my bank, took out the loan, put it all on there, and I would have been fine. It was no brainer. It was so easy that they were deciding who to give the touchdowns to instead of if they're going to score a touchdown. It was who's going to score it. Like I think Ben Johnson and everybody just sits in a room and goes, "All right, if we're at 4 touchdowns, you can have this one and you can have that one." And he traded me from last week. Okay, then you can have his. Like it's a free. Like they have it all planned out. It's gross. How many linemen can we give them in the end zone? Like they're going to try to set a record with like touchdown drives. It's just embarrassing. 52 points. What was it? 49 last week.
Something like that. 48,
49
maybe?
to 9 or something.
Yeah.
So
That's
what you're
fucking
saying is
embarrassing.
this year they will be number 1 seed in the NFC, right?
Maybe.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, you want to make that bet, huh, Buck?
Nah.
Stop here.
Like,
He is
didn't they
fucking
have like
crushing.
over 250 yards on special teams
Yeah, Goff had 12 for 15.
He didn't have to do anything. It was great.
for like what 70 something yards and a bag of gum?
Yeah, fuck it. Go like the Eagles game. They're like Burrow's 14 for 16 on drives right now, blah blah, and then they lose their 17. I checked back in that game. I was like, I thought Burrow was just killing everybody. Turns out they stopped it pretty easily.
Oh, I'm so happy that we have Keenan Mitchell. Oh my god.
You're the fucking Philadelphia. You suck. Hey, Nazario, you almost lost to the Cowboys. Like you got real close. What's up?
Got Harry.
Like I said at the beginning, man, like the fucking 49ers are a walking hospital. Maybe like half a morgue by this time. We have no one. Like basically we had Debo coming back and Juwan Jennings still out. Ayuk is gone. So Ricky Pearsall was nice. And then fucking Debo got injured again. And CMC is a fucking ghost. We don't know if he exists. Jordan Mason went out. Thank God, by the way, because for some fucking reason, like Garendo was fucking fired by the end. But something happened, I think, at least on the offensive side at that halftime. And they looked like their old selves again for one full quarter, 3 touchdowns. And then the defense went to shit. My favorite part of the whole thing is that in the post-game interview, they brought in Fred Warner. And they said, hey, you won. You're back in the fire. How do you feel? And he was like, I feel like shit. We play like fucking shit. Didn't you see that? And I'm like, yeah, we did. And I am glad you're fucking acknowledging it. But then he was like, yeah, but we're all banged up. And now we get at least 2 fucking weeks to get some people back. We might get Trey Greenlow back. I don't know. I think I have faith in the future. I will not say that we're going to be even the fucking winners of that division. Well, we have to fucking win that division since the whole fucking North is going to take the wild cards. But I'm saying I have faith we're going back to the playoffs. And maybe, just maybe, we can go on a run later. But I don't know, man. Like, when you put it together, I didn't realize this until I actually, like, checked the numbers. the 49ers were 3-4 3 seasons ago when they fucking went to the NFC Finals and lost to the Rams. And they were 3-4 the year Brock Purdy took over and they never lost again. And we lost to the Eagles in the NFC Finals. I would be okay losing again in the NFC Finals after this disaster of a start. Thank you.
Thank you. My last TED Talk is I'm really annoyed. I just don't understand what gets primetime games and what doesn't. And I know that I don't know when this became like everybody gets a trophy where everybody has to be featured on these primetime. They don't. I promise you they do not. Houston Jets this week, whatever. But I don't want to watch Indy, Minnesota. When
They
Detroit,
bumped that game.
when
this
I
year.
know, but when Detroit and Green Bay are playing, like every game should be able to be flexed, and you should all want the primetime games to go to the best games. Because you know what? In the middle slates, like there's 8, there's 6, or whatever, and you have fun with those, and those are fine because you're not solo on one game. We had to watch Daniel Jones die on national television. Like I shouldn't have to do that.
You know what the issue
What?
is with that? It's money.
That's a 3 o'clock
If
game.
if you put the best game on
That's
prime
a 3
time,
o'clock game, yes.
Fucking
if
It should be
if you
under the
put-
lights in Lambeau.
if you put all the main games on prime time, then NBC, ESPN, and Amazon are getting all the benefits, and you're
Listen.
fucking Fox and CBS.
Listen,
You have to give them something.
Cesario. You don't have to give me an economies lesson. I know why the fuck it's a situation. I'm fucking tired. You know what? You want to give the money back to people? You want to give the studios money? Hey, how about Mike Pereira or whatever his fucking name is? How about you fire him? He's worthless. I am tired every time he just sits in the booth. Huh?
He was the rules expert. What the fuck?
I don't need to know the rules when it's basic rules. And why does he have to be at the games? Why can't he just be in a studio somewhere?
I thought it was Steratore.
Huh?
I thought that was Steratore. Gene Steratore? Isn't that his name?
He's one of them.
He's
Mike
one of them, yes. There's
Right.
multiple. And that's what's really stupid. They'll do this. Yeah. Tom Brady, been in the league fucking 25,000 years. They go to him and goes, yeah, it doesn't look like his feet got in. Oh, we'll bring in did you get his feet in? Why are we going to the senior citizen? He has bad eyesight. Of course, who cares? Dude, I didn't see his feet come in. You're right, you didn't. Because he didn't.
Yeah, I gotta say here that there's it seems like one toe's down and one heel's
I'm
down.
telling you right now, bring him back. And fucking Notre Dame, like that guy. Like what's his name? What's that coach's name? Lil Holtz. Ryan
I
Day's a
gotta
fucking
say-
pussy, and he ain't got nothing because he ain't played for Notre Dame. Ohio State wishes it was Notre Dame. Like
I
that
do
guy.
gotta say that they should probably like go through a filtering process with which former players should be, anchoring games, because some of them just like are rough. And Tom Brady so far,
No, fucking terrible. Fucking, I mute the games. I can't do it anymore. If I wanted to watch like a jerk off session of Tom Brady, I would just watch the roast of Tom Brady. I don't need to hear it ever like you're pretty good in these leagues. Why don't you fucking just jump out the booth? Just jump out of the booth and hit a seat on the way down. Like, shut up. Yes, he won 7 Super Bowls. We get it. Also, I am all for Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan, underrated, like comment, like in sports, like those clips, great. I want him back on the coaching sideline. Somebody give that man a job. He is hilarious,
It's been long enough.
and he was never really the issue. Great
you
defensive
remember when
mind too.
people? I don't remember who it was, but you remember people bitching
punt
about like
fetish.
how his brother wouldn't get a head coaching job because he couldn't cut his hair.
Oh, I love that guy. Rob Ryan is my
Oh,
favorite.
Rob Ryan, Rex Ryan, I love them both on the side. Those brothers just
He's like, I don't remember who was it. I don't think it was Stephen A, but it was someone like, look at this guy. He has as much talent as his brother, but he won't take care of himself. Cut that beard. Cut that hair, man. Look professional. You might get an opportunity. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I listened to him on Ryan Clark and I don't know who else. It's a podcast that they do. But he was like, no one's called. I was like, that's crazy to me. Like, there are some coaches that are Dennis Allen still has a job. Like Rex Ryan, there's no reason why Rex Ryan couldn't get a job somewhere. Okay. Time to pick. I have Coho in mind. We're all locked in, so we'll see where we go. We're going to start with a barn burner. Does anyone want to take a guess where I'm going to go first?
Oh, Saints Panthers.
Wrong.
Patriots
No?
Titans.
Patriots Titans.
Ah,
The New England Patriots going to the Tennessee Titans to battle for the #1 draft pick. Oh, I forgot.
tank
Nazario,
goal.
by the way, are you going to join us next season when we do the Pittsburgh Pirates podcast live from Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh, bye, guys.
Pittsburgh
didn't-
going to the World
You didn't watch our last
Series.
weekend's? You didn't watch it?
Yeah, I
Pittsburgh
watched it. It was
going to
hilarious.
the Super Bowl.
I did
Here we
watch
go.
it. By the way, I posted it at midnight, and I watched it at 6 a.m. driving to work.
Proud of you. I was in TV Chronicles mind. I just didn't even realize that I didn't hit live stream. When you do more of those episodes, basically in back-to-back weeks. All right, so we're doing New England at Tennessee. Scully has Tennessee for 2. I have New England for 3.
Better.
Oh no, I have New England for 1. Correction. Coho has New England for 3. My analysis of this game, I don't care. I sports bet a lot. Will not be touching this game with a 10-foot pole. I'd rather just light up money on fire than watch this game. I'm surprised it's not a primetime game, to be honest with you. So, Bar. New England did not sign Saquon Barkley, so they'll probably losers for this. But who you got?
They're probably losers for that, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
signed Ramondre Stevenson.
Can
Yeah,
you do a Delco accent?
Oh, I was
I was thinking this when I was doing Pittsburgh. You work on that. We'll do a segment one week.
Well,
of
I
you
got to
doing
go to the
Delco.
wall to get a hoagie and a Coke Zero right by Mount Laurel. Get some Ruse water.
Really good.
Fucking feel these fucking Eagles.
Fucking feeling the fucking
The
Eagles.
fighting feels like, oh god, that
My
accent
vacation at the Poconos.
The Poconos. Yeah.
fucking lovely, man. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I saw
Yeah,
somebody rant the other 2 weeks ago on the Eagles, and it was just full Delco, and I was like,
I'm from
Dude, this-
Delco. I lived that.
I lived it. All right, who you got?
I was born in the darkness. I have the Patriots for 4.
Four?
I'm gonna go get a Pika's pizza.
Shame what Bane did to Heinz Field. It's all same thing, talking about it. Heinz Ward didn't deserve it, man. Nazario, what you got?
Patriots for 4. I think the Titans are more in tank mode than the Patriots. I think Mayo wants to keep his job, and I think they're actually gonna get excited after beating the Jets in a track.
Mark.
Everybody picked the Patriots?
Except Scully for 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. It's my 1 pointer. I'll switch it up. Give me the Titans for 1.
You fucking rebel. Robert.
It was nice to see Mason Rudolph resurrect Calvin Ridley, who was dead and buried, and now he's alive and kicking. But I think Will Levis might start this game, unfortunately. So
For a quarter.
for a quarter, I'd buy that.
My
for it.
fucking shoulder, man. I think he said his shoulder hurts. I think Fucking aliens on Moron Mountain can literally see that.
I'm gonna hand you off the ball, Spears.
My God.
Going to you, Cal. Triple coverage. Didn't see it, man. Sorry.
A fucking moron.
I
Patriots
mean, he
for one.
puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Like, that makes sense.
Yankee home run, bitch.
Fuck. What'd you put? What's your points?
Pats for one.
Pats for one. Perfect. Now we're going to go to another barn burner of a game. The Saints. Going to Carolina. Robert, what you got?
Remember when the Saints beat them by the 40 and everybody was like, second coming, here it is. And then they beat the piss out of the Cowboys and then they lost 6 straight because they are who we thought they were. But until the Panthers show me something, I'm going to pick against them every fucking week. I'm picking the Saints for 10.
Who's quarterbacking the Saints? Is Carr back yet?
Should be
Carr should be back. Mark. You don't say. You know, everybody picked New Orleans. Give me Carolina.
I hope he zags.
Well, see what I had originally. Because I thought like that fucking Haber guy was going to be the starting quarterback.
I did too.
I mean, it's fucking 2 point. Like, I guess give me the Saints. Like, yeah, this. Like, I don't know what I was saying. Picking the Panthers.
You can
Yeah,
The Saints go marching in. Nazario.
Carr's back. Saints are back. Enough to beat the Panthers for 3.
Panthers for 3.
Saints for 3.
Saints for 3. Sorry. My bad. Is Andy Dalton still playing football?
His thumb still hurts from the car crash.
Good job, Bryce Young. Barr.
Yeah.
He was in the other vehicle. It's like a saw trap revealed that he was the one driving it.
Hands are
He goes, game over. I watched a lot of Saw movies over the weekend, so Barr, what do you got?
Even with Derek Carr, I still think the Saints are going to win, but I still don't trust that team enough. So I'm only going to pick the Saints for 2.
Wow, everybody's going low.
Scully's got Carolina for 3. Coho's got New Orleans Saints for 5. I have the Saints for 7. If Derek Carr is playing, more of the same from when they previously destroyed them. I don't see it. If Bryce Young has to play, nope, nothing. All right, next game. Ooh, some good matchups this week, so I didn't have a lot of choices of picking bad ones. But we're going to go to the 2 teams that probably will miss the playoffs. One will guaranteed miss the playoffs, but the Raiders versus Bengals. Scully has Cincinnati for 11. Coho has Cincinnati for 2. I have Cincinnati for 9. We're going to start with Barr. What do you got?
I have Cincinnati for 14. I think the Raiders are just that bad. And Joe Burrow, if they were winning, Joe Burrow would be the MVP frontrunner. He's been playing great ball this year.
He's got the stats. Pretty good.
What's his stat line?
It's Joe Burrow's stat line.
Not to call out Barr for being an idiot, but it's kind of my pastime.
I mean, he has to be in the top 5. Like, there's no way.
He's almost 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns to 3 picks, and he's first in QBR.
Good shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's 6th in yards right now.
Gosh, I need to make a trade for him in the league. Oh wait, already done. Thank you. Nazario, what you got?
Kitty goes meow. 6 points.
Sorry, Barr, I didn't take your Mason Rudolph for 3rd round pick in that league. I understand. I started Flacco. Believe me, Sleeper and me are on a rivalry.
That's not what I'm.
No. Mm.
What, we want to do this on? Well, we can do this. What we're talking about? Who's the father?
I also made an offer for Joe Burrow, but
Ah,
Oh.
you should do a podcast with him. Maybe you have a little bit of edge. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, the Bengals for 9.
In cahoots. Robert, I did message Mark. I said, before you sell him, let me counter it. And he's like, all right, got you. So
You know, when
worked it out.
when the Anthony Richardson news came out, I went back to our draft in the other league, and I took him instead of Kyler Murray and Joe Burrow, which you could also have Joe Burrow, Cody, or Brock Purdy, or any of these fuckers. But we didn't do that.
We didn't do that. We were
Kyler's way better than fucking Anthony.
That's true. I did give Kyler.
Bengals
They
need
traded Josh Allen for Mahomes and a bag of beans, and I regret it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
What do you got?
Bengals need both T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. I think that's clear beyond day. But I have them for 12.
Next game. I would be surprised. I'm interested in the conversation if you can lean a different direction. But Mushbrain going into Buffalo. The Bills versus Miami. I don't know if football players get PTSD, but lining up against that line, he may get it. Maybe back in Nam before we know it. Robert, what you got?
Do you think they just show, like, they do one of those Clockwork Orange torture things where they just show pictures of DeMar Hamlin up on the jumbos, like in other images, like other things that are supposed to make
They
him...
probably showed that to him when he was in the hospital or whatever and be like, listen, this guy died and came back. You can come back from not having a brain.
Yeah. Toughen up, man. I'm taking the Bills for 13.
Be brave, Scarecrow.
Bills for what?
13. Lucky 13.
Nazario has like this talent that right before you say a number, he like says something that just makes me not hear it. Mark, what you got?
Yeah, the Bills beat the piss out of them in Miami, so they should do that in Buffalo. So Bills for 13.
Hey.
I wonder what the temperature of Buffalo will be during that game. But
it'll be.
I could just. You know how they don't like to move. Nazario, what you got?
Those poor Dolphins. Bills for 14.
56, Cody. Mostly cloudy. Not bad.
Sunny. Bar, what you got?
Originally I had this for 10 points, but then I remembered that they're in Buffalo and the history between these two the last couple of years. Give me the Bills for 11.
I thought you were going to go up to 15 with that.
Did anybody like... Never mind. I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to be nice. No, I'm not. It's like you're going to a restaurant with somebody. You're like, I'm feeling a little spicy. I'm feeling a little crazy today. And then you just order like...
chicken tenders.
Some chicken tenders. Like, I had this for 10, guys. I was going to say it. I had it for 10. Oh, that's crazy. I'm going to put it for 11. Hear me out. 11.
That's not even the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
Oh, God, no. It's not the meanest thing I've said in my head either. All right. Chargers versus Cleveland. I forgot to say. Scully, Buffalo for 13. Coho, Buffalo for 12. Me, Buffalo for 14.
So pretty much.
So, yeah, I just think, like, again, they come out and surprise it, then that means Buffalo did not take them serious. That's the only way that I see that happening. Now, this game, Scully has Chargers for 5. Coho has Chargers for 4. I have Cleveland for 2. I think this could be a letdown spot. I think them traveling and and then having to come in. I think Jameis had that offensive running. I think Chubb will be back and healthy. I think overall, I think it'll be a close game, but I could definitely see Cleveland pulling this one out. And then we're like, oh, the storyline's fucking Jameis should have been your starter, should have done this, blah, blah. Fun stuff. What say you, Bar?
I have Cleveland for 3.
I will take the tapioca pudding. Thank you. A little crazy.
Yeah, no, I just think the Chargers are going to charger this. Like, I feel like it's a game that they should win, but I don't think that they will.
Interesting fact. So last year, 49ers went to the Super Bowl. Do you know who's on their coaching staff this year?
49ers?
Brandon Staley is in the building of the 49ers. No wonder that is not going well. Nazario.
He was supposed to be a defensive advisor or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. He's not talking the right stuff.
Bang up job so far.
Yeah, it's killing it. Literally. I think it's killing them.
What do you got, Nazario?
I believe the Browns used their phone a friend, their 50-50. They used all their lifelines to beat Baltimore, and I believe in Jim Harbaugh. So Chargers for 5.
Chargers for 5. Yeah, I forgot. You're a slut for Harbaugh.
You love the cock.
Mark.
Excuse me. Thought to switch this up, but thankfully I don't. He looked good this past week. I think Jameis has one more in him before he has that patented 4-pick game. So yeah, give me the Browns for 3.
But he had LASIK, and he was supposed to be seeing well now.
That year he still threw for 5,000, which is crazy. But
he still threw he still almost threw an easy pick. Should have been.
Should have. You said Cleveland for 3?
Yeah.
Brandon Staley is the assistant head coach for the 49ers.
I know.
That's crazy. Robert.
Assistant to the regional manager.
That's like Darvin Ham being brought on to the Bucks staff, and you got Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham. It's wonderful coaching staff you put together. Cedric Tillman, Elijah Moore, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, Nick Chubb. What an offense! All orchestrated by the puppet master that is Jameis Winston. It's incredible. I have the Browns for 2 as well.
Perfect. Fuck, I don't know where to go. I'm going to go to Denver coming to Baltimore. Interesting game overall. By the way, on that one, I don't know if did I already say our picks? Yes, I already said them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Robert. Baltimore hosting Denver. Who we got?
Oh my, the Bo Nix. They're coming. They're gonna lay all the points. In this case, I don't think it'll be that many because I think Baltimore's pissed off that they lost that Cleveland game. I see like a whitewashing by like 24 at least. I have the Ravens for 14.
Okay. Mark.
Yeah, this Broncos are playing well. And so in saying that, this feels a little trappy. But I still believe enough. They made that trade with Deontay. It should mean something. So I'll still take the Ravens. I'll take them for 6, though.
Nazario.
Ravens for 12.
Bar. How
He's doing
spicy
it.
are you feeling?
He's doing it.
He's going to Bo leave.
Yeah. Both staffs.
Not this week. Ravens for 10.
Fucking cheater. I'm gonna tell Bo Nix that. Scully's got Baltimore for 7. Coho's Baltimore for 6. I have Baltimore for 8. I think stuff defense. Like, I think that's the only reason that they're still in these games. He's doing well with the ball. He's got some crazy tough catches being made. I still do not believe in Bo Nix, but
I don't
what
know.
do I know?
I don't know who's tackling Derrick Henry.
That's one thing. Yeah. Washington Commanders going to MetLife. I had Sully has Washington for 12. Coho is Washington for 10. I have Washington for 15. I hate to do that to them. I hate to curse them if that's the case. I don't think I lost my 15 last week, did I?
I don't think you did.
No, I lost my 16 though. Yeah, that was fucking sucks.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I lost my 16 and 15.
Yeah, I lost 14, 16, 11. Yeah. I also picked Jets for my eliminator, but luckily my life comes back, so that's great. That's how you make a risk. Yeah, but I'm Washington for 15. I don't want to curse them, but I think like overall, I will not trust Daniel Jones. And they won in a field goal matchup last time. I think Daniels in that offense is way better than they were. When they first, he's more comfortable in that offense than he was. I think he's healthier now, so that's why I went with him. Again, I wish I could have swapped it, but you know what? Would you guys be against me swapping?
No.
I just want to make this my 14 and make Buffalo my 15.
Well,
Any vetoes?
There goes Tyreek Hill, 200 yards. It's all fucked. It's all fucked.
I'd rather curse Buffalo than I would curse Washington. So, Bar.
Daniel Jones hasn't thrown a touchdown in MetLife in over 600 days.
That's a fucking stat.
Give me Washington for 15.
Well, if you fuck it up, that's perfect for you, not me.
The stat that the fucking Chiefs have more wins in Las Vegas than the fucking Raiders.
Nazario, what do you got?
I'll take the fucking Commanders because, they look funky, they look fun, they look sparky. 8 points.
Mark.
Yeah, last week shouldn't have won that game. And yeah, I mean, I was scared. Thought I'd change them out, but I'm not gonna do that with my 14. I don't even feel good about that one. So yeah, I'll stick with the Washington for 15.
Okay, Robert.
As the people in my native lane says, Washington. That's
Washington.
Yep. I like Tyrone Tracy. I think he runs well, but I think
Didn't he have a concussion?
Yeah, I think he's not going to play though, unfortunately, because he got a concussion in that game. But he kind of carved the Steelers up in that game. Either way, I don't give a shit. Giants fucking are terrible. Like they're so bad. But I have the Commanders, Washington for 9.
Where is that Italian guy from last year? Put him in. At least people were like fucking.
I saw him running off the field. He's still there.
Tommy DeVito. Did you go to the game?
Tommy Cutlet.
No, because I'm in Dallas.
Okay.
But no.
Fair. Jacksonville going to Philadelphia. Doug Peterson returns. Revenge game. Robert, what you got?
Brian Thomas injured his chest. With no Brian Thomas.
Dude, I've gotten a lot of things wrong. Breakout player, Brian Thomas. Pretty good call from me.
I really wish the Steelers would go back in time and take Brian Thomas and not Troy Fontano. I love Troy Fontano, but I'd rather have Brian Thomas like plague. Yeah. This is my big money one. I'm picking the Eagles for 15.
And Bar cried on the inside.
He did.
Mark.
I was trying to figure out who's fucking left in this Jacksonville offense. Like Christian Kirk's gone. ETN just sucks. I mean,
Parker Washington.
Lawrence, though.
Gabe Davis. I didn't see that shit. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah,
got
Eagles for 14.
You have Eagles for what?
14.
Okay. Nazario.
I hate to give Bar the satisfaction, but yeah, fucking Eagles, man. 10 points.
Eagles for 10 points, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, Bar.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna get some Rita's water ice. We're gonna get a Wawa hoagie, some
Yes.
Pika's pizza. We're gonna go down to Mount Laurel, and we're gonna watch the Birds win 13 points.
It's all about the fighting.
It's all
glad-
about the fighting.
The
You
mention
said
of Rita's Ice is what gets me.
The fucking fightings.
Gonna get into Anthony's cheesesteak.
What's your points?
13.
know you-
Sorry,
you
I
can-
couldn't
you
hear.
know-
I couldn't understand you. Can you say that in the accent you were using? How many for
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. 13.
13 for the Birds?
13 for the Birds. Go Birds fly. Eagles fly.
When we die, I'll just move on. Scully has Eagles for 10. I have Eagles for 10. Coho has Jacksonville for 1.
Fuck off.
Now that is
Coho.
the worst Zag so far of any Zag.
Coho is the biggest.
Wouldn't
bitch.
survive one else in fucking Philly.
Tank Bigsby with 180 yards.
Fucking probably go. What's this? He probably goes to Pat's and thinks it's the best cheesesteak. Fuck that guy, man.
Look, you
All
get
right.
Pat Steele over Geno's, but both of them can suck it.
It's the best bit, I think.
I'm so glad I asked for the Dunka. It's the best accent besides like the Liverpool Cockney accent from England. Like those two, what you mean? Like those angry? I would love those two people to have conversations with each other. Indianapolis Colts are going to Minnesota. Scully, Minnesota for 15.
Wow.
He must think Anthony
Oho,
Richardson's playing.
Minnesota for 11. Me, Minnesota for 12. I do think they're a better team. I think they will score better. And if they lose, I'm happy. All I'm doing is praying for the Vikings' demise at this point for the sake of the podcast. Bar, what you got?
I should pick the Colts for 1, just as a fuck you to Coho.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Come back
You know
to
what?
Nazario.
You know what? You know
Oh.
what? Fuck it. Colts for 1.
All right.
Oh, he's feeling spicy.
No, Vikings for 9.
Motherfucker. Talk about fucking blue balls. All right, Nazario.
Well, it's just the way that we've already picked some of the points, so it just made it.
Yeah, but one's pretty easy.
Uh,
Yeah, it's alternate. But it's fine,
Anthony
whatever.
Richards still tired, right?
Yeah, he's been benched. Flacco's playing.
Yeah, for Flacco.
Flacco doing
I think
shenanigans.
I think the Vikings bounce back. Let's put the fucking Vikings for 11.
How close is like a Baltimore
It's pretty close.
It's very
Okay, that's what.
They're all
Because I
the
was like, there's that comedian, the big guy with the thing. It's like fucking
Stavros?
Flacco. Yeah, he's like, I don't fucking understand. Like, Lamar's good, but like, give me Flacco. Like does that?
Give me Flacco any day of the week.
He's fucking Travis Kelce, Amazon Prime, fucking action star bullshit that he's gonna be doing soon. Like, that's great. Mark.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You know what? Still got a low pointer left. To make the
Give me
switch.
Flacco.
Give me the Colts for 4 points.
Go Flacco. Robert.
I had the Vikings much higher. and then I was like, oh, it's Flacco, and I just kept moving it up closer to the end, meaning the low end. But I still ended up with Vikings, but for 6.
That's perfect. Houston going to MetLife to play the Jets. Again, I swear I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I have Houston for only 4 points. I should put that way higher. I just don't believe I believe in Rogers' black magic a little too much. So I hope they get blown the fuck out at this point. But Scully's got Houston for 14. Coho's got Houston for 15.
Jesus.
I think there's easier games for the 15 spot, but that's just my take. Who did I end with of the people picking?
Robert.
Me.
So Robert, what you got?
This was another one I had much higher, and then I was like, it's Thursday though, and like it's
I
Tank
should have
Dell.
already put
Oh,
Nazario's down.
fuck.
I
That's
already
the
know.
Thursday game.
Yeah, and it's
Whatever, it's going to be 1 point, so whatever.
No, like,
you picked a 1.
You didn't use your 1 spot yet?
You didn't? Okay, I thought you did.
but I
Your
don't
1
want
and 2 are available.
Yeah, but I don't want to change it.
Oh, sorry about your damn luck. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
All right. Yeah.
So
We'll come
Robert, what do you
back.
got?
That was like it's Tank Dell and Xavier Hutchinson and John Mechie and Robert Woods, and I was like, that sounds terrible. But the Jets can't stop the run, so I imagine Joe Mixon will carry the ball 35 plus times, and that will be that. So I'll pick Texans, but for 5.
I'll tell you, I'm like, fucking Cincinnati. It'd be nice to have Joe Mixon.
I saw a thing that was like the Bengals should trade T. Higgins, and they were like, put him on Houston. Just keep siphoning off your Bengals people out to Houston.
Dude, those runs, he's literally bounces off everybody. Mark, what you got?
Yeah, I was going to start with Nazario's Thursday strategy this week, but I was too filled with Flacco fever. So now my 10-pointer is back to being the Texans.
10 points?
Yep.
Bar, what you got?
I'm with you, Cody. Like,
That's a bad place to be.
Yeah, there's something.
Fucking run.
I have the Texans, but I only have them for 6. I think Coho and Scully are just in fuck Aaron Rodgers always mode.
Oh, they are. Their dad, again, their dad hurt them. And every week on this show is like, you're not mad at me. You're mad at your dad. You're on a great, my dad. It's Big Daddy all over again. Like,
I can wipe my own ass.
I know you can, buddy. I know you can. Goddamn Jets. Speaking of Big Daddy, great movie. Go check it out if you haven't ever seen it or rewatch it because it's a great movie. Nazario.
I mean, I do believe just like the dishes that the Jets are done, man. So
Not
before
your
I realized,
house, unless your maid came.
Before I realized that it was a Thursday game, I put it at 15. This is my 15. And now, if I move that shit, it's gonna fuck the whole thing up. So let's just fucking keep it. Every rule is meant to be broken. So Houston
podcast, this group chat is gonna fly off in fourth quarter, and they're up by 2 scores. Like Jets are just driving for another score. Houston's just falling apart.
Texas.
Dallas going to Atlanta. Nazario, what you got?
That's my 1 pointer for the week. Fuck this, man. Kirk Cousins, 1 point.
Okay. Is Parsons coming back? Is he back? What's he doing? Anybody?
I think he's on the mend, but I don't think he will be back for this one.
Okay. I just saw like Kirk Cousins running for his life, and Parsons just like just
You
running
might,
after him.
they might both pull up simultaneously, though.
Just running on all fours.
Oh, real quick, did anybody see that Saints defender like trying to like
Oh yeah, the Saints are bitches.
leg
this year.
wrestle the fucking Herbert, and his lineman just beat the fuck out of that guy? Like,
No, this sounds amazing, though.
dude, he holds it like he's
Gator
throwing
rolls
the
him.
ball. He's throwing the ball, and he's like gator roll, like trying to bend it, and then his lineman sees it, and he just bull rushes him on the ground. And just like I was like, dude, what the fuck? You're
The Saints are in bounty game mode again.
They should be.
What they shouldn't be. They're not good enough to be in bounty game. Get this out, guys. We need to hit them hard. He quoted, "We're just to let you know." He quoted, "They're not like us." And after Dallas, and they haven't been really good after that. I just want to say, Dallas, you should not quote that. Nazar Bar, what do you got?
Yeah, I just don't think that the Cowboys are very good. Like, sure, CD, but
What makes you think that?
give me the Falcons for 7.
Poor Jim Green, man.
No, fuck that guy.
Well, the funny thing is, they could have signed. Didn't have to sign him for all that money, and then they could have had a good pick in the draft. And now,
Yeah, but they would have had money to pay Derrick Henry
Or Saquon Barkley.
he
But
just
they
didn't fit the
didn't want
scheme. He didn't fit the scheme.
They didn't want him.
Dalvin Cook,
No,
Dalvin Cook, and Ezekiel Elliott. Like, if you see them in the facility together, they're literally from The Irishman, just sitting around playing like eating pudding together, just watching eating pudding because they're fucking two guys that should not be in the league anymore. Mark, what you got?
Yeah, the Cowboys are fucking done. Yeah, they still haven't played all their division games left, which is scary. I guess that could be something, but probably not this week. Give me the Falcons for 11.
Okay, Robert.
Game might actually be fun. There might be fireworks. There could be a lot of scoring. I anticipate like Darnell Mooney having one of those 10 catch games because why the fuck not? That seems about right.
Ray McLeod.
Yeah,
Didn't
Ray
Diggs hit
McLeod.
the reporter with these nuts? Didn't he hit him with him? He's like, you can answer the question. You can suck on these nuts. I was like, damn, we're down bad.
Gauss hates the media. They're in an ever growing
Oh my
war
God.
with the media. I'm in lockstep with. Cody, did you say
Mark?
7?
I haven't said anything yet,
Oh,
but Barr
Mark,
said
did you
7.
say- Oh, I'm in lockstep with Var. It's 7.
That's a scary place to be.
I know.
I threw a fit and said, I didn't say that. I have Atlanta for 6, so not very far off. So we're basically in lockstep. Coho has Atlanta for 7,
Ugh.
and Scully has Atlanta for 9. It's always fun. Like, I always love when a team that doesn't like that everybody hates, except like Sean Wasserkrug. And then like now we all just hate him. It's pretty fun. Like, I remember he put his ceiling was this or his low bar was this. Like, you're gonna be way lower today. Chicago going to Arizona. Do you want me to say Scully's pick now or wait till you all give your pick?
I want to wait.
Wait, I want to stew in it.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Robert.
This is the game where it's like the Cardinals figured it out, right? It's all
Sure.
going well. But that's not the Cardinal. That's not Kyler Murray's bag. They fucked
Yeah.
that shit up.
Call of Duty came out, didn't it?
I did.
Yeah,
Black Ops 6, which means
everywhere but Nintendo.
which means
Fucking up.
Kyler will only have 6 working fingers. That's bad for throwing footballs. I guess unless they throw on the throwing hand, they're fine. But I think that's I don't think that will even out that way. So I'm gonna pick the Bears. I think they will make this up. I don't know why I think that, but I do. For 3.
It's the 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, I just still don't really believe in the Cardinals. The win last week did nothing for me, nothing before. And the Bears should have won that game. And I got to believe they're going to come out with a little bit more this week. So, yeah, I'll take the Bears for 12.
Bears for 12.
Mark's still on that thing about like, well, the Cardinals are 2 up on the Browns, so still got that.
Sure. Bar.
Take what Mark said about the Cardinals, not trusting the Cardinals, and just swap that with me and the Bears.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Cardinals, but I'm only taking them for 1. But I could see the Bears being like, yeah, we're so mad about last week and we're going to kick their ass. And then just like James Conner runs for like 200 yards.
I just thought of something. Is this the game where Marvin Harrison's like, you should have taken me first overall?
Maybe.
It's like 150 yards, whatever.
Marvin Harrison revenge game from the draft.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it.
Would they have the 9th pick
Yeah.
also?
Yeah.
Harrison and McCarthy. Well, McCarthy needed surgery, Bo Nix. I think they made the right call. I think Justin Fields could have been fine. Whatever.
I said it in this show. Justin Fields and Marvin Harrison. That was the move. That's what I would have done.
Nazario.
I think the Bears got a talking to this week, and they are gonna show up to try to prove otherwise. Also, if the Rams beat the Seahawks and the Bears beat the Cardinals, the 49ers get the number 1 spot in the division on their bye week. So, Bears 7.
I think this could either ruin the locker room or help the locker room overall, because I think like you can be like a fuck it, or like let's never let that happen again, and that defense is as angry as possible. I have Chicago for 5 points. Because I think it can go either way. I just do not trust the defense overall of Arizona. I think the defense of Chicago is still good. Jaden Daniels has been one of the best quarterbacks, held them to 18 points till the touchdown. So, I don't think Arizona can compete with that. I don't think Kyler Murray can just run around on there because Jaden Daniels really couldn't run around that much on them. So, personally, Coho has Arizona for 8. So he said, fuck it, they're dead. Scully has Chicago for 1 point.
Whoa.
So there is that. Tampa Bay going to Arrowhead on Monday night. Scully has Kansas City for 8. Coho has Kansas City for 9. I have Kansas City for 13. He'll prove it otherwise. I will still be riding Kansas City. Doesn't matter how they play. I think arguably the Kansas City Chiefs have the best defense in the NFL, and I don't think it's really that close. And I just don't know who Baker's going to be throwing to and if he'll have enough time to throw with Chris Jones, because that line is also brutalized. And they're not going to be able to set up the play action because they're not going to be able to run the ball. That's been the biggest thing. And they just got a pass rusher from New England.
Yep. Yeah, Uchi, whatever his name is.
So the rich keep getting richer. So 13. Again, if I'm wrong, I can be wrong, but I just don't. If they're going to lose a game, it's going to be to the Bills later. I don't think they're going to lose this game. In Arrowhead, especially. Who did I end with when I talked to you guys last? Nazario?
Nazario.
Oh, you?
Yeah, Nazario.
Oh, Robert. What do you got? Oh, Nazario. Whoever. I don't fucking care.
Go ahead, Nazario.
Nazario.
The Chiefs are going to lose eventually. Not this week. Chiefs for 13.
Good setup.
Bar.
Cody took everything that I was going to say. Chiefs for 12.
Robert.
I got the double uns. I'm taking Chiefs for 11. This game would be fun if everybody on Tampa was available.
Oh,
Mhm.
would be fantastic to watch. Mark, you eye rolled a couple times while I was speaking, so what do you got?
Did I?
I said best defense room, but you could have also looking down at something on your desk and blowing it away. So
Man,
it
I
could
got
have
like
been
an
in your own
iPhone
world.
even. So like I don't know, maybe I didn't think I was.
Being disrespectful like normal, it's fine.
That's where I got all my picks. Whatever.
That's
Listen,
not the
like
problem.
the Bucks played kind of spunky last week, even though they lost everybody. It was against the Falcons, but like I feel like this happens every time with like really good teams. They'll lose to teams that you wouldn't expect. It's a Monday night. Like I'm still picking the Chiefs, but I'm only going to pick them for 5. Like it wouldn't shock me if the Chiefs lost this game.
No, it would shock me.
Shock me.
Like Mahomes would have to go down.
It would shock me.
How? A 7-0 at home against Tampa that's reeling with injuries all over the place?
I mean, fucking still put up points last week. I don't know what to tell you. Like Baker Mayfield is still making miracles happen with that team. Like I don't know. Like Todd
Yeah,
Bowles
but
is probably going
you're
to lose in the game still, but like still taking the Chiefs. They're probably
whose
still going to win.
whose defense is better, Atlanta or Kansas City?
Well, listen, I'm not going to get into fucking semantics here. Okay, like I'm still
They're
picking
not
the Chiefs.
semantics,
Like,
they're facts. They're facts. Okay. I think I already said yes. Okay. Los Angeles Rams going to Seattle. I'm just gonna share it. I think this is just funny. I don't fully disagree with him, but I think it's funny. Coho has the Rams for 13 points. Just man's like confident.
I mean, if they beat the Vikings.
I mean, true. They beat the number 1 seed. Scully has the Rams for 4. I have the Rams for 3. I think this is a close game. I could see it going either way. Mark, say something so I can disagree with you again.
Okay. I've been saying it for like the last 3 weeks. Seahawks are frauds. They crumble pretty much against every good team they play. And the Rams, at least for right now, that offense is fully healthy.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I'm taking the Rams for 8.
Okay. Robert.
I'm taking Nazario's bit. This on the picks thing is at a 50-50 split.
Hell yeah.
So it is fucking toss up. I don't think it's that much of a toss up. I saw a funny thing about like trades, and they were like, the Dallas Cowboys, they should trade for Kyron Williams. And I laughed heartily, like a lot. I was like, that's a funny idea in theory. So good job on you, whoever wrote that article. Yeah, I'm picking the Rams for 4.
Kyron would probably retire like immediately.
He would have the anti-touchdown streak when he went there. It'd be like 20 games without a touchdown.
What was your point value?
4.
Okay. Bar.
Yeah, this is. I could see this game going either way, but right now I think the Rams are just like kind of they've got all their pieces back and they're hitting their stride. So I'm going to take the Rams for 8.
Nazario.
I want to be number 1 in the division. Rams for 9.
Do you think Coho has the Rams in like the top 3 on his power rankings?
Yeah.
Probably. They beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think it goes Kansas
I told
City.
you guys they come back later in the year.
I think it goes Kansas City, Detroit, Rams now.
Rams.
Am I the only one who thinks that Detroit is the best team in the league right now?
If they had Hutchinson, it would be like no contest for me.
I haven't. Who did they? So they just beat the shit out of the Cowboys, which sucks. They just beat the shit out of the Titans, which suck. Who did they beat Minnesota? They barely beat Minnesota.
They only lost to the Buccaneers
By 4
in week 2.
So yeah, I would consider like best offense, not even a question. But a best overall team, I just don't know yet. Like again, but right now it's Kansas City versus Detroit, like 100% where it's lining up to me. Like no questions asked. I just want to see them play a good defense and see what happens. Like if they play a strong defense, like what happens there?
The Packers defense is pretty good.
Is that this week?
Which we're at. Final game. Detroit Lions going into Lambeau. 3:25 start. Fucking ass. Scully, Detroit for 6. Coho, Detroit for 14.
Oh my God.
I have Detroit for 11 because I don't know the status of Love. And Dan Campbell is a fucking crazy person. And if Love does play, Love may not play for a long, like the whole game. And I don't think Malik Willis can survive. He survived those games that he could survive. I don't think he survived a divisional game that they're ready to run. They're not. I don't think they lost to the Bucs. They're here to embarrass people that they are like in the division, and I could see them running a rough shot over this defense because like Minnesota still put up a ton of points. So that's only my logic. Again, I wish I could say distance for 11, but if Love plays, can I have it for 4? But yeah, so I'm going to lock in 11 right now. Bar, where you at?
Let me just look at something real fast.
Well, I can tell you what points you have left.
No, I know what I have left.
Okay.
And I know who I'm picking. I'm just looking at something real fast. So, yeah.
It's feeling spicy for that 5 points.
No, I'm gonna pick the Lions, but the reason I only had it for 5 points is because I think the Packers may be the best defense that the Lions will have to have played so far. And as I said, the Packers defense right now is doing pretty good things. But I still think Detroit should be able to pull this one out.
Pretty good things.
Pretty good things.
Rosario.
Interceptions.
I like my cheese drippy, bro. I'm going with the Packers.
But is that cheese on top of like some sliced meat and a seeded hoagie roll?
Is it spray cheese?
On
top here
for 2 points, okay? Mark.
Yeah, said for a while I'd take the Packers until they fucked things up for me, and they still hadn't.
Okay.
But Detroit just looks really scary right now. They just look like the scariest team.
So you're not a man of your word, I see.
I see.
I'm
gonna pick Detroit for 7.
Oh, development story. Mark's a scumbag. This is in.
Mark Manchaca, big scumbag.
Big scumbag. Thank you, Diane. Robert.
Yes.
Roberto.
Rubby dubby ding dong. Hello.
Ooh.
Oh, there's a narrative about Matt LaFleur as the coach of the year. I think if it's Malik Willis and they pull that game out against Detroit, I think that locks it, right? That locks it.
They might just bring it to the locker room right afterwards and say, "Here you go.
Here, it's the Matt LaFleur honorary trophy now. You can just have it forever." But I don't foresee that happening, and the Love thing does scare me. And he's been like weirdly kind of inefficient and throwing a lot of picks, which sucks. So I'm picking Detroit 4-8.
All right. Nazario, I did not message you for an eliminator pick, so you are in it. I forgot to add you. We brought everybody back in because I forgot, but I'm now keeping track of everybody's eliminator pick, except Mark. Mark, which was your eliminator last week? I know you won it.
Fucking. Here's my 15 pick. I'm gonna look it up.
Your 15 Detroit.
Is Detroit? Okay, that's who
Yep.
it was.
Okay. So everybody's still alive. Besides, well, me, Scully, and Robert got an extra life because we restarted. I already burned my extra life with the Jets.
Nice.
So they're still alive with that. So we're gonna start with Bar. You can't pick Green Bay.
I wouldn't have picked them this week anyway.
Shocking, you have Detroit for 5. That would be really counterproductive.
Yeah, I know.
I have a suggestion for you.
Go ahead.
The two teams, you had it at 10. Shit got crazy. You remembered what this rivalry they had, so you put it for 11. The Bills.
I'm not gonna lie, I was between the Bills and the Chiefs.
I think I just spoke logic to you.
Yeah, you know what? Give me the Bills.
That's it, brother. Nazario, who you got? Oh, wait, he's going to put that stupid thing on the screen.
I was
He-
looking
as
for it. God damn it.
Go.
You
as soon
picked the
as he
Bills,
finds
right?
the bill.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Bam!
Is that guy
Okay.
stiff arming a buffalo?
yes.
That's what I was asking. Like, why is there a guy with the?
I'm gonna
Why
go.
why is the logo the Bill getting stiff armed?
No, the bill is blocking for him.
Oh, is that what it is?
No, he's actually stiff arming. That's really what he's doing.
Fucked up. That
Well,
animal-
with this fucking team because I don't expect to pick them anywhere else. Bam! Vikings!
Hey, Mark, you can't pick Detroit.
Seems like one that can go wrong. I'm just going to continue the streak of picking my second best one. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Dirty bird.
Bam!
That dirty bird literally has a Delco accent. That was crazy. It looked funny. No. Robert, what you got?
I am keeping track from the whole year, so I'm not fucking around. And I'm using the strategy I'm going to keep using till it fails me. I'm going to pick the Saints because they're playing the Panthers.
I like that strategy. Scully sent me his pick. Hold on. Thomas Scully, he picked the Eagles as well.
Bam!
Boo, copy.
And then my pick for this week will be I'm not liking any of this. I'm going to pick Cincinnati. That could bite me in the ass, but who shocking. I refuse to curse some other team. So that has been the podcast. Thank you all for being on. Thank you for my wonderful co-hosts. Better when the North does not show up and talk shit the entire time. So that was great. We will see you next week for week 10. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.